Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? Oh, we've got some people coming. Give me a second here. Welcome to episode number 1058. Yes, yes. Episode number 1058 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. The Walking with Purpose live edition, live today from the beautiful, gorgeous, amazing San Francisco SF Bay Trail here at Bear Island in Redwood City, California, where I live. Well, I don't live here on Bear Island, but I live in Redwood City. All the trolls and haters know exactly where I live. I'm a public figure. That comes with the territory. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about social media. And how important is social media to you? And is it your outlet? Do you consider social media your outlet? Now, nothing wrong with social media being a part of your outlet. But if it is 100% completely the only outlet you have, that's a different story. We're going to talk about that more here today. Before we get to that, and while we wait for some more people to tune in, Don and I both hope you've had a great day. Our day has gone quite well so far. Don and I, a couple hours ago, just finished recording episode number 15 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, which will be released this Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. On the other channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, the main channel. Link is below in the description. Subscribe over there and bang the bell. And make sure you select all for all notifications so you don't miss anything. The moment something is released, or if we go live there or go live here, do the same thing here. Subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications. It's a nice day. The outside temperature gauge when I left the house said about, I think it said like 81 or 82. It feels like it's about maybe 70 degrees on the trail. It feels perfect. Like I couldn't ask for a better day. Couldn't ask for a better day. Excuse me. So yeah, we recorded the podcast, and it was a great show, just over 2 hours. And the topic of the show is, of that show, that'll be released this Wednesday, in relationships. What's abuse and what's not? Or what's abusive and what's not in relationships? What's abusive and what's not? And I will tell you, I would have to say, if we looked at percentage of airtime on this show, I would say Dawn had about 75% of the airtime. And I'm very happy about that because she had a lot to say. And it's a topic that she herself is very passionate about and very experienced on. She's been in abusive relationships, and she's dealt with trauma regarding that. And we talked on that show, if you're, dealing with people that are going through trauma, you've got to try to figure out what their triggers are and do your best to avoid those triggers. You really got to get to know your partner, because even if you're not directly or intentionally trying to trigger their trauma, sometimes unintentionally or indirectly you are, and it's still going to affect them, even if it doesn't involve them. Even if you're saying things that doesn't involve them, or you're saying them to other people, they overhear you. Or like in the case with Dawn, she's a part of my YouTube channel and business. She was walking with me the other day, and I had an issue with somebody in the chat, and it affected her pretty severely. We talked about that, and we went over a couple of very interesting Reddit postings. So don't miss that show. It'll be released again this Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, on the other channel, the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. Link is below in the description. Another thing, as a reminder, I did an apology stream yesterday here on this channel. If you missed that, check that out. Once again, my apologies for some of my recent behavior. I've had some frustrating moments lately, because I'm very, very passionate about what I do, and it is my purpose. I also discussed that in great detail on the podcast. People will understand why I got so triggered. I'm going to wait for this lady to pass by. I explained why I got so triggered at someone in the chat, and what the GNA means to me, and how much of the GNA is my purpose, and how myself or any other man or even woman nowadays, because women are liberated, they're working, everybody has a purpose. And if they feel like they're not fulfilling their purpose, or they're failing at fulfilling their purpose, it's going to affect them, and it affected me. Your purpose is your sole meaning of living, right? And I'm not telling anyone to do anything stupid. I would never do that. But when you feel like you lack purpose, and you have no purpose, what else are you here for, right? And I'm not saying that, to offend anyone, or to, to do anything stupid myself, or for anyone else to do anything stupid. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that your purpose defines you. It's who you are. It's everything. Without it, you're nothing. Does that justify my behavior? No. But it's the reason why I reacted. Hey there, babe. Hey, respectfully, maturely, and professionally. How you doing, babe? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. It's a nice day out here today, babe. The weather is absolutely perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. There's a nice breeze, light wind, about maybe 2 to 3 miles an hour, keeping me nice and cool. And the sun is going down. God loves me. GLM, how are you doing? How you, Lion Don? Hey, GLM, how are you? Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, Don says, hey, girl. So GLM, how important is social media to you, and is it your outlet? Is it one of your outlets? Is it your complete outlet? Is it a partial outlet? How important is social media to you? Not just YouTube, but it could be YouTube, because that's probably where you're primarily at. That's primarily where I'm at. But I'm also on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter X and many others. GLM says, can someone tell that pig to hurry up and take me to court? She's been threatening for years. Put up or shut up, Tammy. 2 years. We'll talk about it because that's an issue that you're going through, and part of these streams are ask any questions, informal, right? I think GLM, there are a lot of people on this platform that are full of shit, and they do certain things because it's the only way that they can fool themselves to believe that they're fulfilling their purpose, right? Or to feel like they're relevant in some way, shape, or form, right? She has threatened you many times to go to court, but what's she gonna sue you for? Is she gonna try to get a restraining order on you? And then, for what? For sharing your opinion? What's funny about these people, GLM, is that, when they talk about you and they do it in a vile way, which is truly harassment, right? They come out and say, oh, it's freedom of speech, right? I can talk about you all I want. It's protected by the First Amendment. But then, when you talk about them and give them back a taste of their own medicine, then they like to flip it and say it's harassment, right? So they can talk about us all they want as part of their First Amendment protected freedom of speech rights, right? But if we talk about them, then it's harassment, slander, defamation, and they're going to threaten to sue us. I think you know that Tammy's not going to sue you. And I think you're just giving her back what she's giving you. You're throwing it right back at her. Because the whole thing is stupid. Like you said, people suing people on YouTube, unless it's legitimate, it's stupid, all right? Now, anything I've ever done has been very, very reasonable and above board, and I've given people many chances over the course of many years to do the right thing. And if people continue to not do the right thing, you got to do what you got to do. But a lot of these people, they threaten to sue. Sometimes they go through it with no intention of showing up in court. They do it because it's their content. It's all they've got. Tammy will only embarrass herself. I look forward to it. She's not going to sue you, GLM, because there's no benefit for her suing you. There's not even a benefit for her suing me anymore. In the past, it was something brand new and people were tuning into it, and she was getting donated a lot of money, and there's one sponsor there by the name of Silicone Jace that was funding them a lot more money. I'm thinking maybe he's kind of backed off now because of many things that I've been doing to protect myself from these types of people. All right. There's nothing that you've done. There's nothing that warrants her suing you. She's got nothing. What's she going to put in the report? GLM said a naughty thing about me on the internet. You live 2,500 miles away from her just like I do. Now, if you made a death threat or something like that, which you haven't done, that's a different story. Anyone would be in court over that. Anyone would get an RO on that. But pretty much, unless there's a death threat involved or physical harm threatened, you're not going to get an RO over a YouTube disagreement or YouTube beef or whatever you want to call it. It's stupid. Does that answer your question? Is that what you wanted to hear, or are you just agreeing with me that the whole thing is stupid and you just mentioned it because it's stupid for her to just keep running her mouth, right? And, talking about YouTube as an outlet, right? She and other people that she's associated with, they're all using YouTube as an outlet. And how important is social media to them? 100%. It's the only thing that they've got, in my opinion. Because no one would behave this way online if they had other things in their real life to occupy them that made them feel good. People behave this way because they're miserable. It ends up going back to being the same old song and dance every time. It's just miserable people that are out here seeking other like-minded people as their outlet, and then all of them conglomerate together and validate each other that the way they're behaving is normal, which it's not, and that further, that validation amongst each other, saying their behavior is good, it further worsens their situation. GLM says there's many benefits for me in her taking me to court. Hurry up. Stop talking. Do it. She's saying it to Tammy. GLM furthermore says, I was just listening to the clip of her yelling, saying she's going to call every mental health cavity, or you meant county, in Northern California to find me and get me to lose my job. Really? So it's okay for you, Tammy, to threaten to go real life at people. And I don't even do that. In the past, I overreacted and said some things that came off threatening, but I never took any action on them, and they were on private, illegally recorded calls. You're publicly threatening to find where GLM works and get her fired from her job. And the real reason why you said that is because you're a miserable fucking clown, Tammy. You are. You're a miserable clown. And you yourself have been saying it lately. You're just here for the lulls and the shit show, right? You don't even care anymore about... threatening to sue me anymore. You realize you've played out the court thing with me to the point of where if you take me to court again, you're going to be logged as a vexatious litigant because there have been so many cases that you've done and involved yourself in. You know what I wonder, GLM, God loves me, I wonder how long is this charade going to go on for? Because that entire group of people, GLM, and I got to tread carefully because I've been advised to not mention certain things. So I'm sure you could put two and two together and figure it out. I've been advised to not mention certain things. And we'll leave it at that. As far as the Tammy thing goes, not a big deal. That has nothing to do with what I've been advised to not do. But there are a lot of people in the groups that surround Tammy. And a lot of these people are losing their way. They're losing their traction. They're basically, essentially canceling themselves. This isn't even cancel culture canceling them. They're canceling themselves with their behavior and the stupid things they keep on doing, just like Tammy, right? I agree with you. You know, I've responded to her the same way all year. You know, if you want to sue me for reacting to you in the same ways that you react to my content every day because your entire audience only wants you to talk about me and you got nothing else, when you talk about anything else, you don't get the views, right? Yeah, I told her, take me to court. That way you have to pay for the fees, and then I will be the respondent or defendant, and I'll get free representation from Legal Shield. And she goes, no, if you want to go to court with me, you're going to have to take me. No, because you're not worth it. I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay any money. I'll wait for you to get another itch up your ass, and then I'll use my benefits and you can pay for it all. Why won't she take me to court? She keeps saying it. Is she a liar? Yeah, it's all for content. What are you gonna offer her by going to court with her? You'll bury her in court. And she doesn't have a large group of haters of yours. Her entire audience, I'd say at least 90 to 95% of them are Eli haters. So there's no benefit for her doing this stuff to you. It won't get the same traction. I'm not saying you're any less. I'm not saying you're any less worthy than me. You're worthy. You just have far less haters than I do, and the majority of my haters are her audience, and other people's audiences too, that are associated with her. All right. Court sounds like a good time. Hurry up, Tammy. I'll agree. I agree with that. And listen, either put up or shut up. Right? Stop talking trash. Do it. Like I said, it's not worth it to her to do it. But she can open up her mouth and make that threat because it makes her, I guess, in her eyes, look cool in front of her audience, right? I'm the big bad Tammy, right? Big, literally, big bad Tammy. Sorry, y'all. I ain't got no haters. All I got are maids and waiters. So we're back to subscribers only chats. In the know. Were you advised not to speak? Why were you advised to not to speak your thoughts? Was it the executive board? And hi again, Eli. I don't remember you. Were you here the other time? Have you been here before? Like I mentioned yesterday, I'm sure you heard it, but I'll say it again. I am not able to discuss it any further than what I've said. So I cannot tell you who's advised me, and I can't say anything more about it than I've said. And the only reason why I'm even saying that is because I don't want people wondering why I'm not talking about certain things when there's still a lot going on. It's just like I've said, I've been advised to not talk about certain things. Things that I've been talking about are outside of that scope. And I'm really sorry if that's too vague. I have to be vague per what I've been advised to do. So I hope that answers your question, and I'm sorry if it's vague, but it has to be, unfortunately. I have known RJ and mainly the Filipino community. Thanks for answering. Yeah, no, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, in the know, in due time, when I can talk about things, I will, regarding these situations that I've been advised to not talk about at this time. And everything will be cleared up. But besides that, so you're from, RJ Sandifer and the Filipino community. Are you Mike's Philippine Journey, or are you somebody from that community? It doesn't matter. It's all good. And how about you? How important is social media to you? What's your favorite social media platform, and how important is social media to you? And would you consider social media your outlet, or YouTube your outlet, or another social media platform your complete outlet, or a form of your outlet, part of your outlet? The executive board, hey whoosh whoosh, and I'm sorry what I said to you the other day. I'm sure you might have seen my stream by yesterday. My apologies. The executive team, I'm the president and founder of the GNA. Don is the vice president of operations. And then Sandra is the director of public relations. And then Tia is the director of special events. That's the GNA executive team. I hope that clears things up for you. I love YouTube best. It has the biggest, ugliest lolcow. You know what, GLM? And I'm not mad, and I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, realistically, it's very hard to be professional when you're around sometimes. I'm not asking you to leave or anything. It's all good. And I'm not disagreeing with you. But Christ, man. And then, no, I do enjoy him and his community. Yes, I love being able to connect and see people all over. Karaoke and singing and traveling are most enjoyable. So, in the know, do you consider YouTube your biggest outlet? Do you consider it your only outlet? Do you consider it part of your outlet and you have an outlet of people you can hang out with and talk to outside of YouTube and in the real world? I'm basically trying to get feedback from people that come across my content or this stream specifically, because I really want to know, especially people that have been coming around my neck of the woods here, how much of their time do they spend on social media? What are they on social media for? Which platform? It seems like YouTube's the one that everyone is going to. Like, YouTube is the one over pretty much most of every other platform. It used to be Facebook, and Facebook's still popular, but I think what's going on now is everyone is coming to YouTube as an outlet. And to a certain extent, it's not a bad thing. But if you make it your 100% only outlet and you're dependent on YouTube for everything regarding who you are as a person, your purpose, etc., regarding you being able to breathe air, then that's a problem. Part of my creative outlet, yes, but I am with my family and friends a lot. TikTok, I am on more. Oh, okay. So you, what's going on? I see a ambulance going slowly. There must be an accident on the freeway. There are some people coming behind me. I'm gonna wait for them to pass. .101 is moving pretty slow. There's got to be an accident somewhere. That's 101. 101 south is. So we got some people coming. Give me a second here. Whoosh Whoosh says, I think TikTok is more popular with young people than YouTube. Yeah, I think more so since YouTube changed their rules when the Federal Trade Commission, enforced COPPA rules on them, the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. But YouTube is still very popular. YouTube is still dominating all other social media and video platforms by at least 2-1, even more. There is no better platform on social media for video than YouTube. I will say that when I simulcasted on Rumble for the first time the other day, I've had Rumble for a while, but I've never uploaded or live streamed there. They're actually not bad. Rumble has come a long way, and their quality is pretty good. And I figured I could even stream up to 15 megabits per second in high quality on Rumble with no issues. Clarity on the picture and sound. And they even have a monetization program too. It's not as good as YouTube's, but I've got to say Rumble's gotten a lot better. And even then, YouTube is still smoking Rumble by a mile. People go to Rumble to talk about the stuff that's too hot for YouTube. It's much more difficult to be removed from Rumble for anything, copyright infringement and even community guidelines. You can be removed. I have removed people there, but it takes a lot more work. It's more of a manual process. Emailing them. I googled it. YouTube has 2.5 billion monthly Active monthly users, that's right. TikTok has 1.6 billion. Facebook has 3 billion. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. YouTube's numbers have gone up, though, and I think Facebook's have gone a little down. That data is based on a certain date, even though it might say it's current. It's not. The last I heard online was that YouTube was up to 2.8 billion, and I think Facebook has lost some people because they're pissed off. A lot of people are pissed off that Mark Zuckerberg went from being a full-blown liberal to sucking Trump's nuts, and he's still doing it. People are really disgusted by how much of a sellout that Mark Zuckerberg has become. He's a businessman, and he's doing what he thinks is going to protect his business or get him the most benefits from Trump. It's not going to change a thing. Trump hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything regarding the deficit, the budget, all that stuff with Doge and Elon Musk. They actually spent more money. It cost us more money. It put us further in debt. Even Musk has been talking about it. Musk flipped on Trump because he started to realize how much it was affecting his stock, his business, and if he didn't part ways, he would have probably been removed as CEO from Tesla. Instagram and WhatsApp has 2 billion. What is WhatsApp? It's a texting app. It will be bigger than YouTube soon. I doubt that. I doubt anything will be bigger than YouTube and Google. Trump has been... Are you talking about TikTok? TikTok does not have what Google and YouTube have. They've got the best monetization program. You've got the #1 search engine in the world that owns YouTube. And YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world, right behind Google. And YouTube's not even really a search engine, but you can search for videos, so they consider it a search engine too. I appreciate your opinions, and TikTok has done well, but they've had many issues, especially here in the US. So we'll see what happens when they get everything sorted out. And Trump's been all over the place with that. First he didn't like TikTok, then he did. We'll see what happens. Yes, you never know. Yeah, that's true. You never know. You never know. The Whoosh WhatsApp is used here a lot for messaging and calls. Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's why they got the U-Haul Dawn. Who is she? She can't fit in the car. T told me Asians should not be allowed to drive a car. This is the kind of stuff that really, and I'm not saying this to be rude. Say what you got to say in the chat. But is it really necessary to attack these people beyond their issues? Yes, some of these people are fat and unattractive. And I've talked about it from the context of the reason why they're fat and unattractive is because of the way they see themselves and the things that they invest their time in every day, such as YouTube drama and court cases, abusing the court system for YouTube drama and clicks and a few extra dollars. Instead of going out and exercising, right? Instead of making healthier meals, eating healthier, exercising more, right? I think the right way to look at it is these people are focusing their energy in the wrong places. I mean, we could sit here and call them all fat and ugly and, you know, every cosmetic thing in the book. And you're not wrong. None of you are wrong. But does that make you any better than them to call them those names? I'm just saying, if you want to call them the names in the chat, go ahead and do it. Do what you got to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're grown adults. What I'm saying is, how much of a real impact is it going to make? Does it make the situation any better or worse? Or is it just, you know, a back and forth, playful, fake instigated drama, banter? It could be, right? Then again, who wins? Who wins in these situations? They're getting paid for this content on their end. They've got people and even a sponsor that pays lots of money for this shitty content. So when we talk about them, they get more money. In my opinion, no one really wins, but if anybody wins and is at least making money off this stupid shit, it's them. What are we getting out of it? Nothing. It makes us better because we aren't human monsters the size of Reptar. I see. I see. I'm only doing 3 out of the 3.5 miles a day. I've got a long week up ahead. Don and I have a long week up ahead. Got to start preparing for some stuff. Got to start preparing for Dawn's surgery on her clavicle. We talked a little bit about that on this week's podcast that we did earlier today. Again, the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, episode number 15, which the topic is in relationships, what's abusive and what's not, will be released this Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on the other channel, GNA Genuine Personal Development. Links below the description. Subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications so you don't miss anything. Also, if you don't have YouTube Premium and you want to listen to the podcast background play in your car through your Bluetooth or, you know, Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you can go and do a Google search for Don and Eli Take on the World podcast or Don and Eli Take on the World. We're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, my lady's favorite, iHeartRadio. We're also on Audible, YouTube Music, and then many others that are really not as known. So wherever you find it audio only, some places, I think most of them, you'll have to like listen to an ad and then you can hear the whole thing straight through using background play. You can listen to it that way if you'd like. Again, it'll be released this Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Mm. Have a very nice evening. I will try to pop in soon. Thanks for the nice discussion. And no, you're very welcome. Have a great evening, and thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Tammy would give anything to be Dawn's size. She just won't eat healthy or exercise. Well, that's on her. I mean, she's gonna die in the next few years or 5 to 10 years. She's not gonna. If she doesn't do something, she's about to enter her 60s, being morbidly obese. Right, GLM? Would you consider her morbidly obese? I would, and I say that, you know, I don't say it in a disrespectful way. It's a serious thing. Listen, regardless of what she's done or these people have done to me, the bottom line is I don't wish harm upon anyone. These people can turn their lives around. They can change for the better, right? They can choose to become better people. It's just sad, GLM. How do you eat so much that you need a wheelchair? It's mental illness. Yes, she is severely morbidly obese. Yes, that is true. So, what do you suggest that she does, GLM, to turn that around? What advice would you give her regarding that? GLM says exactly, Sherman. Nobody would let themselves get to that point. She has Popeye arms like Fire Ice Witch. GLM, Tammy asked Anna to send her like 8 dozen cookies. It was crazy. 8 dozen cookies. I don't know. Tammy would give anything to be Dawn's size. She just won't eat healthy or exercise. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I think we should lock her in a room and give her 3 small meals a day. That's not the right way to do it. She needs to cut her calories down to about 1,500 a day, and she needs to exercise for an hour a day. At that rate, she will probably lose 30 pounds a month. If she keeps it up for about a year, she could probably lose half her weight. She's going to have to keep up that regimen for a year straight, maybe even a year and a half. This is not going to be an overnight thing. There's like at least 300 or more pounds to lose, probably 400 pounds to lose. That's on her. My question to you ladies is, why do you feel the need to give her so much attention? She's got her own issues. She's threatening to sue you. Whoop-de-doo. If she does it, she does it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But, I mean, talk about what you want to talk about. I'm just saying, what does it do for you? Like, what's the point? What's the benefit of this? Is it therapeutic? Is this what the people need? Is it entertainment? Is it frustration? Because, quite frankly, to me, this is all dumb stuff. It's dumb, boring stuff. It's not worth any of our time. My point is that I want to go to court, Eli. I'm motivating Tammy to file. Well, you could also file on her if you'd like. Yeah, don't. Here's the thing, GLM. Respectfully, this is why I said last year in 2024, and I'll say it again on this show. I spent that whole year to protect the GNA, to get the LLC, to get the business license, to get my DBA, my fictitious business name, Elias Melas, DBA, Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. I already had the federal employer identification number. I already had the seller's permit. I got a registered trademark with the state of California. And now my USPTO trademark's about to go through. I got a notification today. It's in the final stages. It'll probably register by tomorrow or Tuesday. No, I need her to file as she stated. She has said she would file. I need to see her humiliate herself, and I need to laugh in her face. Maybe she can get her ass locked up. That would be great. Well, she definitely knows how to play the system, GLM. She definitely knows how to ride lines, skate lines, however you want to say it. And quite honestly, GLM, I don't want to associate with anyone that plays our government system in the way she does. And that's not an opinion, Tammy, that's a fact, because you've done it in many court cases. And you're going to come back and say, oh, you're slandering me because, yeah, those were legit court cases. Well, you didn't show up to one of them. You tried to get an RO on me in Florida, and you didn't show up to the case. You tried to help another person, and then another person you helped didn't show up. So yeah, she was even accused by the judge when I tried to get an RO on her here in San Mateo County in California. And she tried to serve my mother, my brother, and my aunt by email without getting it approved through the clerk's office first. The court clerk's office has to approve it, has to stamp it. And then she has to serve it the proper way. She got called out for abuse of process. And that's kind of like a similar thing that I'm not able to talk about right now. It's called abuse of process. She said on stream that he's struggling at school and won't do his homework. How can he do homework when she's yelling all night and day? He must be exhausted. If you're yelling that I can't say that. Some people yell at the internet with children. Excuse me. Some people yell at the internet with children in their home. That's child abuse. I don't know if I necessarily call that child abuse, but that's definitely not setting a good example for a young child, a minor child. That's almost like what Don and I were talking about. What's actual, you know, abuse in the relationship and what isn't? What's toxic and what's abusive? You're going to have to check out that show. I get what you're saying, GLM. I don't think that is child abuse, but it is not setting a good example for the child. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Oh. We are at 56 minutes, almost 57 minutes, 48 in the box, 5 thumbs up. Okay. All right. Well, why do you feed into her then, GLM? I'm just kind of wondering. I don't care that you do. I've learned to understand that, you know, people are going to say and do what they feel. I've done the same thing myself. I'm just saying, why feed into her stupid shit when you know it's stupid shit? Is it just a comical thing for you? Like, I'm just kind of wondering. It's all good if you want her to sue you. I want her to sue me again so I can, you know, I can show the courts what she's done since we've been in court the last time. But she won't do that because she knows I have too much on her at this point. And she knows how good I am with my records and all that. So she's not going to pay money to file a case that she's going to get buried in. Right? Because I want her to hike her court case. It's 100% child abuse. There are multiple people on YouTube who do it. You can't stop the life coach. Listen up. I'm not coaching anyone. I'm not a life coach anymore, dude. I'm the president and founder of the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. And I teach personal development and help people with their self-improvement. Self-help. It's pretty close to the same thing, but it's not being packaged as life coaching. You can kind of look at what I'm doing similar to what Tony Robbins does, but he's been doing it for over 40 years and he's much further ahead than I am. He's been doing it much longer than me. Because enough is enough, says respectfully, maturely, and professionally. All I want is to laugh at how R-word she is. I'll give you that. All these people are the R-word, GLM. Would you not safely say that all of these people are pretty mentally challenged, right? in your industry, the professional way of saying it is mentally challenged, right? But I get it. The R word is more derogatory and has more emphasis, right? I get it. I understand. I feel the same way. I'm just trying to become a better person. I'm trying to ask God and Jesus to forgive my sins, right? To cleanse my soul, right? I work at Starbucks. We don't say the R word at my job. And I work at Burger King. If you work at Starbucks, I work at Burger King. I hope you're the general manager at Starbucks. If you're doing that with your credentials, I'm at least hoping you're making 50, 60, 70 grand a year being a general manager. Not just being a barista, right? I'm not, no disrespect to baristas. I'm just saying, GLM, I think you're a bit overqualified to be a barista, right? Barista seems like a hard job. Oh, it's not easy. And I think here in California, I think they make $20 an hour. Fast food employees are making $20 an hour. That must mean general managers must be making like $50, $60 an hour. Or $70 an hour. And they're paid on a salary, so they're probably, depending on the volume of a Burger King or McDonald's, they could be making 70 to 100 grand or more a year. Just here in California, because the cost of living is higher and the minimum wage is higher. Got 51 in the box. Thank you so much for being here. I got $8 in tips last week. Well, good for you. It's not hard, Sharon. It's fast paced. I'm a barista on morning shift. I make 21 an hour, minimum wage plus tips. How is that minimum wage? I don't even know if Starbucks counts as a food worker. Maybe they do. If that's the case, that minimum wage is 20. So if you're making 21, you're making $1 above minimum wage plus tips. You could be making about $25 an hour. That's okay money. That used to be really good money 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. I was making that kind of money 25 years ago, when it was actually really good money. Now, like you said, it's just above minimum wage. And the cost of living has gone way up. That God loves me. $8 a week. That's more. I'm really tired of this conversation, to be honest with you. I'm really, really tired of the Tammy conversation. You know, this is not what the GNA is about. We're here to help people work through their problems, not, you know. V7 Vin with the $4.99 super chat. Hey brother, how you doing? Thank you so much, brother. 2 days till the end of the month. Thank you for that, bro. How you doing, V7, formerly known as Vin S? It's not that I'm not upset about people talking about it. I'm just really, it's boring. I'm bored of it. Like it's just really boring, repetitive stuff. You know, I don't know how many times we can say the same thing over and over and over again and it be as exciting as the first time, you know? It's all good, you know? Goose Fraba, I'm not getting mad anymore. It is what it is. Let people talk. Let them talk and the show will go on, you know? I'm going to go home to my lady tonight. We're going to have dinner together and we're going to snuggle up on the couch and we're going to watch some Max or Netflix or Hulu or whatever's on and then get to bed after that with our 2 wonderful dogs and get a good night's sleep and get up tomorrow and have another great day. And not even worry about the stupid, repetitive shit on YouTube. The stupid, boring, repetitive shit on YouTube. Thank you, Vanessa. Again. Eli, I made grilled lamb today. Do you enjoy lamb? I like it at times. It's not something I would prefer to eat all the time, but it's okay. Yeah. You know what, Eli? Be loving gyros. Those are delicious. Gyros are good. I like the strips of lamb beef. Processed strips of lamb beef with cucumber sauce known as tzatziki on the warm pita, a Greek pita. I love cooking. Oh, wonderful. Where did you take down? You mean take Dawn out to eat the other night? And did you guys? We had a great time. I love a good rack of lamb, says Dawn. And some dolma, says GLM. Those are the grape leaves made by the Greeks with lamb beef and rice wrapped in grape leaves. We went to a place called the Grill House. It's a local bar and grill. Don and I had been to it, but we hadn't been to it in probably a year and a half or 2 years. And yeah, we had a good time. Don had salmon, and I had a nice Philly cheesesteak, and we also had some bread pudding for dessert. We shared one, and yeah, we had a good time. It was really nice. It was the same day as that stream that Don and I did, and when all that stuff happened. And you know what? Don and I don't let stupid shit on YouTube and just stupid shit in general. We don't let that get in the way of us having a good time together. Like Don and I, like, look, we're not perfect, and you know, we've had our moments. But we've really never had a real fight or anything. There's no reason to fight. You either love someone or you don't. You know? We've disagreed on stuff, but who doesn't disagree on things? Right? But yeah, no, we had a wonderful time, and thanks for asking. And again, Woosh, I'm really sorry about the other night, man. Sorry about the other night. I overreacted. I was I was upset because the GNA is my purpose, and I've been trying really hard to move it forward. And I really want to start trying to fund the GNA. And I tried to get that going, and some things happened. It didn't pan out, and it just frustrated me. And to be honest with you, it still kind of frustrates me to this day, to this moment. But I've just decided to handle it better and not let it affect me from continuing to move forward. I hope for the best, And we'll see if some more new people start to come around now that we're not being affected as much as we used to be by certain groups. We're still affected by it, but not nearly at the level we were. I heard when the cookies arrived. Okay, I don't need to read that. Santa Palacio, I like collard greens, turnip greens, and mustard greens. My friend Lily could cook. Yeah, cornbread to Santa Palacio. How you doing, Sandra? Welcome to the show. It's great to see you here. I'm going to let some people pass on by. Santa Palacio says, I've been here, Eli. I was ignored. I didn't. When did you talk, Sandra? I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Did you only talk one time? I'm scrolling back. I never saw you come in, Sandra. Sandra, I don't see you. Yeah, I mean, I've seen pretty much everyone that's come in the chat, Sandra. I don't know why I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe there's a glitch on my end and only certain messages are going through. I like pig's feet. Don't knock it until you try it. No, thank you regarding that. Sundays are pretty exhausting days for me. I'm feeling a little bit tired because, I set up the entire podcast. I didn't even have time to. Typically on Saturdays, I'll set everything up, the thumbnail, the topic, any information we need for our topic, right? But I got up early to do that this morning because it's been so busy. Then I took a little bit of a nap, and I had to set up the studio, which takes at least a half an hour to an hour to set up, and then another probably half hour or so, or a little more than that, to tear it down afterwards. People don't realize how much work it is to put together quality content. They don't realize what us creators go through, and the amount of work that we do and we put into it, and we put our hearts and souls into it. And that's what I've been fighting for lately, because I feel over the last 5-6 years, certain people were able to get away with violating my rights. And for me to do all that hard work for years and to be violated as much as I have, and I'm not here trying to play the role of the victim. I'm just speaking the truth. People that have been around know what the truth is. I don't want a fucking pity party. I just want it to turn around. And that's been part of my frustrations, But again, like I said, I'm not letting it frustrate me anymore at the level that it did. But that's what triggered me. That's what affected me. That's what made me snap. Because this whole thing is my identity. This is who I am. Without this, I am nothing. And let the trolls and haters say I'm nothing with or without it. I don't give a fuck. The bottom line is, to me, this is my oxygen, my fuel. This is my purpose. And this failing is me failing as a human being, in my opinion. That's what a purpose is. Now, I'm not whining or complaining. I'm not a suicidal person. I'm not anything like that. I'm just saying this is my purpose. This is why I fight so hard for it. There's some people popping off the trail, so I'm going to pull up to the side and let them leave before I walk across the bridge. I can sit there and look at that for the next 30 minutes continuously until it goes down. I won't. I want to get back to my lady. Sorry, folks, I'm just taking the breather for a second. Yeah, when I was at the luau, what's the luau? Is it like an electronic, digital luau? I thought it was her sitting there with an apple in her mouth. I had to look twice. What is the luau? Is that electronic, or is that a certain luau where you were at in Hawaii? Respectfully, maturely, professionally, Don says, beautiful. Thank you, babe. Typo you like. Oh, no worries. You just meant when you were at the luau. Yeah, thank you, babe. It's nice. It really is. This is so much better than stupid ass YouTube drama and people calling each other names out here and all that. And it's like, look, I've done it too. And you know what? I'm not proud of calling people names. Sometimes you do it because these people deserve getting back what they've done to us. But look, at some point, one side has to say, hey, enough is enough, right? At some point, saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, it really gets old. It really does. It does. You do you, Eli. Well, thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. See you later, Shiroma. Have a good night. I'm sorry, folks. It's been one of those days, and I'm a little bit tired. I'm also very hungry. And there are some people popping on. I will wait. These are apartment homes. They're actually apartments. They call them apartment homes because they kind of look like homes, but they're apartments. But having a house like right by the water here and having the view that you have here, and during the 4th of July, during the 4th of July, you can see the fireworks from here because they're very close. They're shot off from like this area over here. Speaking of which, I'm making an announcement that Dawn and I are going to be watching the fireworks from our deck at home on Friday, July 4th. It's going to happen around midnight Eastern, 9 a.m. Sorry, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. That's when we'll start the broadcast, probably shortly before 9. Thank you, Sandra. And Don and I are going to do that stream, a members only live stream. So if you want to watch the fireworks live with Don and I, and it's not going to be members only live chat, it's going to be a members only live stream, which means you'll need to purchase at least a $4.99 channel membership to view it. And if you want to view the replay of that members only live stream or other past members only live streams, along with access to any future members only pre-recorded videos, you'll need to go with the $9.99 package. The $4.99 package will get you just members only live streams while they're live only, no replays included. The $4.99 package will also include the $2.99 members only live chats on publicly viewable streams. So, I'm waiting for their people. Okay, let's start walking out now. I think we have a clear lane. I'm really glad that we can give people a forum to talk today. Here's the thing. Regardless of what people are coming here for, they're venting and letting things out. And it's better than keeping it in. And we will provide that for you here at the GNA. I'm just going to let all that stuff, happen. Before I was totally against it, but I'm just realizing now that people come in here, and I'm not big about trashing anyone, including my enemies. But I'm not fond of really trashing anyone, or at least overly trashing somebody. I mean, some people deserve to get it right, but not like every second message is about the same thing for like 30 minutes straight. Like it becomes too much. It becomes excessive, you know. But I'm gonna let people talk because it's their therapy. It helps them work through the issue. So anyone asking, how many people we helped today? How many people were here? 6, 7 people that were actively chatting, and another 40 to 50 that were watching but not chatting because they're probably blocked. But they still want to watch the stream. Well, we've got a lot of people that have been walking on and off at this time. It's the end of the night, and it's Sunday. "85, 86 minutes, an hour and 26 minutes. It's probably after 8 o'clock Pacific now, after 11 p.m. Eastern. Start getting your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in 5 minutes or less. Vin thank you very much once again for your $4.99 super chat. That's an iPhone super chat ending in 99. Thank you so much for that. I was, and I'm not sure what you mean by that, Sandra. What's I was and? Were you responding to something I said? I don't even know what you're responding to. Can you clarify that for me, please, so I don't miss answering your question? The troll. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't pay attention to the trolls anymore. I really don't. Yeah, the thing, Sandra, is right now I've been advised to not talk about certain things. And I'm gonna take that advice because it's from someone that is extremely worthy to take that advice from. But if it wasn't for that, you bet your bottom dollar. You bet your bottom dollar I'd be talking about certain things because it's nothing different, right? But we're just going to hold off, and down the road, when all has been said and done, at that point, there'll be a lot more to say. In the meantime, I'm going to listen to the advice that I've been given. I got to go. Love you all. Be back tomorrow for another show, another walk. Have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.